What's that? I got you. So my boyfriend.
Good evening, everybody out there in DFG land. This is the one and only DFG who is here in the place to be, just doing my thing and making it swing. On this on the show tonight, I got my two co-hosts. It's first of all, I'll say what's going on, Miss Apple, who's sweet as Snapple,
Good evening, good evening, good evening.
and we also got my favorite girl, the Chocolate Pearl. What's going on, Pearl?
Hey, Duval.
Down there in Duval, causing trouble, causing panic, causing shame, causing envy, all of the above. So, how was Father's Day weekend for you, Chocolate Pearl?
I had a wonderful work weekend. I celebrated Father's Day / my birthday, which is Juneteenth
Yes,
tomorrow, but I
Juneteenth.
celebrated it in Louisiana, New Orleans, and
Yes,
I had a wonderful time.
something about something about New Orleans. I just whenever I go on Bourbon Street, it smells like broken promises and regurgitation. Right. Yeah.
But you know what? I kept saying the whole weekend, these streets are worse than New York streets.
Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh, they had so many potholes.
Oh yeah. You
I just didn't understand.
throw your whole transmission driving through New Orleans.
Okay.
You talk about being like the Flintstones. You remember my college roommate Marion, right?
Yeah.
Back in the day, he had a 1979 Ford Mustang 2. This was 80, 87, I mean about 88, 89, right before Hugo. And I mean, you talk about brothers getting in that vehicle, piling up, going to the club.
This is real. Just like the rest.
You know, getting to the club and stuff, and we used to be in there, and we were riding on the manifold. We didn't care. We just had to. You had to get $1 for a beer and $1 to get in. You remember the Whiz, Pearl? You remember the Whiz back in the day on Two Notch in Columbia, South Carolina. If anybody out there knows about the Whiz or Fame back in the day in Columbia, give me a one in the box. Those used to be the days. Thursday nights, 103.1 WWDM in South Carolina, Columbia, South Carolina, the Midlands. They used to do all that stuff back in the day. And yeah, we used to have fun. Well, anyway, he rode that thing when I say he rode that car into the ground, it went right in, he rode it into the ground. It was we got all the miles we was gonna get out of it. That's all I'm gonna say about that. That's all about saying. My Father's Day was pretty relaxing. You know, got me a nice meal. Randall gave me a nice cup for the Mandalorian and Baby Yoda or Gorgu. He knows I'm a space cowboy and space knight fan. So yeah, um, it's crazy though, but you know it's the hardest job to have, in my opinion, being a father, because anybody can donate sperm, but it takes somebody who's in there who wants to make sure that their children become profitable, but also contributing members to society and uplift the black race. Speaking of that, yeah, I know all of these. We talked last week. We talked about the last guy in office and the present guy in office, son, both catching cases. This week, the biggest thing is that what is the biggest thing this week so far, besides the rampant unaliving over there in the Sudan, in the Congo, in the you know, and of course in Zimbabwe, all of that, and Gaza and Ukraine, all that stuff. So we're gonna go on, and thank you, Miss Bridget. Thank you for wishing me a happy Father's Day. I appreciate that. You never know, until you become a dad and really love your children. You never understand. People never understand. Just something with being a father, and I have two children that are on the spectrum. One mild, one moderate, and I wouldn't change it for the world. They definitely made me a better person, a much more conscientious person, a much more person that watched his darn mouth, because my co-host can tell our family's not known for how can I say this, tact. We come straight out the mouth. Sometimes it sounds disrespectful, but that's just the way we talk to each other that way. So it's not like it's one way behind closed doors and one way in public. But Apple, what did your middle son do? Your youngest son, your middle child, what did he do for Father's Day?
Oh, he actually had a very quiet Father's Day. My granddaughter gave him a gift, and
I saw
inside,
that.
yeah, a little bucket hat that she designed and that fit her, but he put it on and he was proud to wear it. It was very cute. It was very cute.
Looked like she could almost spell a name. And she ain't done before. I'm like, y'all gonna
Yeah,
have a
she can spell her name. She can. Yes.
y'all gonna have some problems. She gonna be too smart for y'all. Be
And we
like,
also had some new arrivals. My daughter's dog gave birth to 4 puppies. So
oh
she got
God.
to see that. My granddaughter got to witness the miracle of life.
Oh, okay. What did Murder Cat say?
She was not impressed, or, she rolled
She
her
got
eyes and
Vic.
walked away.
She got some new victims. For all of y'all out there, TikTok land, YouTube land, IG land, and in Facebook land. What my sister has a cat. I keep forgetting the cat's real name, but we call her Murder Cat because we think she's a serial killer. Just
Allegedly.
allegedly a serial killer. So that's what. So if you ever hear Murder Cat, what's your cat's name again? Mittens, Buttons,
Mrs. Pringles. I
Pringles.
did
Yeah,
not
that's
name her, but it fits her.
yeah. So if you hear me talking about Murder Cat, it's Miss Pringles, because I think she was reincarnated from a serial killer or something like that. But next month is coming up, and it's 4th of July. People celebrated in 1776, but
Excuse me, my birthday
well, I already
is
talked
a
about
very important day.
your birthday.
Look, I got cut off for some reason. It keeps signing me off or something. So
Well, pay your
um,
dang phone bill.
my bill's paid every month, whether I like it or not. But my birthday is important other than the fact that it's my birthday.
And how old will you be?
The big 2 nickels.
So you double nickels, 55, stay alive. Keep
Yes,
it
tomorrow I'll
going.
be 55 and still
Put a
looking
one.
fine.
Hey, people out there in those lands, put a happy birthday for Chocolate Pearl, please. Give it up for Chocolate Pearl. Happy birthday, and that's tomorrow.
Yes, celebrate
Give
me.
us give
Celebrate
us
me.
your cash app. Give us your cash app. Bless
Dollar
bless.
signs, Tawana Golden.
She gone. She gone. Her she got cut off. That's what I told her. She can't be having cellular, what's that, customer cellular stuff. There she goes. She's back on. Pay your daggone bill.
No,
Now
she didn't
finish with
feed the hamster on the hamster wheel that keeps the phone going. gotta
Y'all
Exactly.
just wrong. It keeps cutting me off. It don't cut my
And
phone off. It cuts the
she
darn
has a
program
she
off.
has an asteroid. So what do you expect? If
Y'all not gonna look. Y'all not
you
gonna
had an
keep talking about my
iPhone,
phone.
well,
No, if I had an iPhone, I won't be able to do anything. Cause y'all know y'all iPhones can't. I got to pay to work the phone for every. I got to pay to dial. No, we're
I
not doing
beg your finest pardon, ma'am. My phone works perfectly.
that.
exactly. So finish where you left off, Pearl.
It is $ Tawana Golden Siebels. That's TAJUANAGOLDEN, as in Sam, EIBLES.
Y'all heard that, people. For that, and if you can put it in for my YouTube, for my people out there in YouTube land, $Tawana Golden Siebels. Bless her, bless her up tomorrow. Tomorrow's her birthday. But other than that, though, that's good. That's good. It's also one of my closest army friends, Mr. Chandler Jack and CJ. I know tomorrow's your birthday. I'll holla at you. Um, you know, it's we've been going through a few things the last few months, but it's always good to celebrate somebody's birthday when they made it another revolution around the sun. So, um, you know, 20 years ago you couldn't see 55. Now it's here, and it's like
That's true.
it's pretty much just another day. I was thinking the 26th of this month will be 40 years of me graduating high school.
Wow.
Yeah.
40 years.
Yeah.
Wow. You old.
40. Yes, I am. But I'm seasoned. You see the experience of the beard and mustache, salt and peppers
Vintage.
here. But yeah, it's all good though, and you know, I just want to thank you for sometimes you was a pain, but most of the time you were good to me and good to people around you, and I want to definitely thank you for being you, bossy, but you still got a heart of gold.
Well, thank you so much. Remember, I came out of mommy bossy, so I just got that naturally.
Yeah, I know, I know,
I was
but
telling the doctors, I was yelling at the doctors for spanking me on my butt.
except for when you got shots, though, don't go there. You know, you had almost had to be hogtied, but that's another story. But let's talk about communication. What do you? And it's not just. I'm not talking male, female. I'm just talking about communication in general. To you, Apple, what is a good communicator? What makes a good communicator?
Before she says something, I just want you to know I'm switching to my computer. So be on alert.
In my opinion, a good communicator is someone who's fairly transparent and honest. Um, they say what they mean and they mean what they say.
Okay. So, give me an example of a person that means what they say, what they mean, and mean what they say.
Um, Me, most of the time, I'm just,
and it
people use some harsh
and it bet
tone.
not. Hey, and it bet not have um, try me and see, or you bet,
Really,
or
like
you.
I'm of the mind that if you ask me a question, I'm gonna always tell you the truth. So I tell people, don't ask me a question you don't want to know the absolute truth to, because you're gonna wind up getting your feelings hurt. And I don't mean to be harsh, because I'm not a harsh person. But if you're gonna ask me a question and you want to know the honest answer, I'm gonna give you straight facts, whether it hurts you or not. Not trying to hurt you, but whether you like it or not.
Oh
My
yeah,
son
definitely.
tried to play a prank on me yesterday, and I don't think I answered the question that he put out there, or I didn't give him the advice that he thought I was gonna do. He thought I was gonna coddle him, like, oh, poor baby. I was like, oh no, oh right.
He forgot who
He
you
forgot.
were.
He forgot who I was. I said, well, I'm not sugarcoating anything. I'm gonna let you know you done effed up. You
Oh
might as well
my
pack it up
god.
and bring it on home.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Yeah, they be trying though, don't they?
Yeah, but like even with my kids, I always let them know that, no matter what it is, good or bad, they are welcome to tell me anything and we'll work it out. Whether I get angry or not, that's not even, that's not the issue. Just don't have somebody come to me about something that you did out in the street that you may have
The-
gotten in trouble for in school or whatever. I always let them know that my door is always open, and they can tell me anything and we'll work it out as a family. But I
yeah,
just
no,
always,
that
I'm
makes
big on
sense.
communication. I'm big on communication. That's why I said me. A lot of people can't handle it, but it is what it is.
Yeah, no, I got you. All right, Pearl, your turn.
Well, mine is if you tell me you're gonna do something, do it. If you promise me, do it. That's what I mean for mean what you say, and I just can't stand when somebody say they're gonna do something and they don't do it. I can't stand that. It irritates me because for me, my word is bond. You know what I mean? If I say I'm gonna do something, I'm gonna do it to my best of my ability. I could be tired, sick, broke, but if I promise I said I was gonna do it, I try my hardest to make that happen. So mean
That's
what you
what's
say
up.
and say what you mean.
That's definitely what's up.
People can always actually our brother Puzzle said at the repast to somebody else that didn't know me, and he said, yeah, this is my sister. She lives down south. Because after I left, especially I left when he was really young, um he was saying to somebody, yeah, if you I said, even though he said she travels a lot, even though she lives down south, if you need her to be somewhere, you can always count on her to be there. That made me feel really good, that
Oh
he
yeah.
felt that way, that I can be there for that person no matter what. And that's what I mean by mean what you say and say what you mean. Because
No, that's
do it.
perfect.
If you're gonna do something, do it. I just can't stand when somebody don't do what they're supposed to.
No, that
Dab
definitely
said
makes
he
sense.
has one. What is that?
Okay.
The
Come
question
on,
was,
Dabs. Holla
the
at your
question
boy.
was, what's a good communicator? Or what do
Yes.
you? I think besides just talking and back and forth to people, a good communicator is somebody that can actually listen and show actions later on without even saying anything.
Oh yeah, you do
That's a good
that.
communicator.
You good at that one.
Okay. So basically getting your point across
Well, not even getting the
succinctly.
point, not necessarily a point across. Say maybe somebody says something, and they may, you may be talking to them, and maybe they don't think you're listening, but you are, and then later on you make that whatever that
Yeah,
question was happen, and or the person makes that thing happens, and then they know, hey, wait a minute, they was really listening. Or you talking to
Oh
somebody, you
yeah.
talking back and forth, because a lot of times people talk back and forth, and somebody will say, okay, I want this done, but they don't really hear them, and they go about their business. It's a person that communicates. Don't even have to say anything. They could just make
just
something happen.
listen, right?
Just listen and
No,
make
that
something.
and that makes sense. And
Yeah.
okay, Dabs, who's more important, the person saying or the person listening?
The person saying is the most important one. The person listening just needs to make the action happen. So I think
Well,
the person that's talking, they need to. Well, yeah, they're the more important person in the fact because they're they're trying to get a point across, or they're trying to get some information across. And it may not even be a point. It may just be saying, hey, this is something I've been thinking about, and then you make it happen.
Well, I'm a kind of disagree with that, and here's why. Because when I was in the military, and we used to talk about different incidents that would happen, and we talk about the M2 movement and women being disrespected. You have to look at it. It's not necessarily what's said; it's what's heard. Because the listener, it's the listener's responsibility to understand, but it's also the speaker's responsibility to articulate what you're supposed to say. A lot of times, go ahead.
But what I'm saying is, obviously, if that person does what that person's asking or saying, they obviously heard what they were saying. Because that person,
it could be. I'll give you an example. Okay, you and Pearl, or y'all went to New Orleans this weekend, and y'all were riding down the road, and y'all just having a good old conversation, and then something comes up to where you say, "Man, stop." Said sometimes you act like a B. Now you did not call her a B. You did not.
Oh, okay. I see what you're
out
saying.
Way, but
it's the way you say it.
What do you think she's going to say to you?
I'm not
that
no
wasn't
B.
what you meant.
Yeah,
right.
I'm not no B.
Right.
Why are you?
What are you saying?
Yeah.
Right.
It's
so
all
it's not,
like you said. It's all about communication of how you articulate. That's it. So you said you're acting like something, but I didn't necessarily call you that something.
right. And it's an example, but a lot of people will take that the wrong way, even though you didn't mean it like that. You're saying you're talking about the behavior. The listener is taking it personal because, I'm not going to say hit dogs holler, but a lot of times we don't look at it as what we're saying, but and it's also how we say it. Because I could say with the syrupy sweet voice, Dabs, your breath smell like hot butter dog doo doo. But I say it with a smile. I say it with a smile. There's no nice. There's in no way. There's no nice way that you can
say that.
Right.
A lot of people listen to respond. They don't listen to understand, and that's a
right.
as well.
Yes.
Yeah. That's a very good statement, Ken Apple. She said a lot of people listen to respond and not listen to
right. And that's pretty much what I was saying.
You
can listen, you can listen and not actually have to say anything and just make actions happen. That way the person know you were listening.
Right,
and that's
right.
Saying it's not necessarily, saying something out of context, because the question was, what do you think good communication is? And good communication is a person who can listen.
Yes, because you have two ears and one mouth for a reason. Listen twice, speak once. But a lot of times, like Apple said, people listen to respond, saying they just waiting on you to stop talking so they can get their words in.
Right.
And that's not,
I know someone that even with texting, believe it or not, they could text you something, and before you can answer, they asking you another question.
Yeah.
And that irritates me. So you're asking me something, but you don't give me a chance to respond, and then you're saying something on top of that before I can even get it out. Or you just responded before my text even came through for the answer, and then you're complaining about it. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
It irritates me.
Yes.
I stop listening to take notes. That's all I do.
Yeah, you do. He now I will say that he takes plenty of notes. more notes than I ever would have ever taken. So yeah, you're a good listener. I will say that.
So what else? What are also indicators of good? What's going on, brother? Snup Nup. What indicators are those qualities that make a good communicator? Because I suck at communication in certain experience. I know, y'all know that.
That's because you try to multitask and you're not good at that. My biggest thing is just listening and actually verbalizing yourself in a proper way. When you don't verbalize yourself, you can be perceived different ways, or you can take it different ways. Like you were saying about, there's a certain way that you could say something nice or say something nasty in a nice way, and that person will receive it better than you yelling at them or
Right.
chastising them.
But the Bible says, a a rebuke from a friend is much better than a kiss from an enemy. So yeah, that's kind of where that comes from. I'm not saying sugarcoat everything, because everything shouldn't be sugarcoated. Because some people don't get the message. Some people don't get the message, especially like if they're not as fresh as they need to be. Nobody want to be told they funky. Well, maybe James Brown.
I'm bad at that. I don't know how to sugarcoat very well.
But you could, what you could do, and is pull the person to the side. Look, I'm sorry to say this, but you stink.
But there's a difference between sugarcoating and being tactful.
Yes, I agree.
You don't have to be tactless in order to be blunt.
Yes, I agree.
You can
I
get
agree.
your point across. Yeah. I had a problem, growing up with communicating. And because of, my intrusive thoughts used to, take over. And I learned how to speak my mind without, I try not to make people cry, but that has happened in the past. So I'm learning to I communicate a lot better now. Um I'm a lot more tactful than I used to be, because I'm still not going to sugarcoat anything, but I'm going to soften the blow a little bit, if that makes sense.
Yeah, you actually do. I will say you've become a more expert in that field. I actually have to stop and think about what I'm going to say before I say it, which everybody should. But I used to be one of those people that just say what came to my mind, whether it hurt somebody's feeling or not. I just said it. I figure I was. That's what I'm saying. It was hard for me to sugarcoat, because I would just come out and say what I got to say, because I didn't want you to read between no lines, because there was no lines that you need to read other than the ones that's directly in your face. That was my issue. I had a tendency of doing that. Was that a good thing? No, it's not.
But the thing is,
but
though,
I've learned to think. Like I said, I learned to think before I speak. I will still be blunt in a sense, but I kind of soften the blow of it. When I need you to sit down, instead of saying sit your ass down, I think before I say it and say, okay, I need for you to have a seat.
yeah, no, I got you, because hey, you know how we get when we're too upset to we start talking through our teeth. If you don't sit your behind down. And audience, I'm saying that, I like to make money on my platform, so I try not to use too much profanity or out there bad. And I appreciate everybody out there, TikTok land, also in YouTube land, Facelandia, Instagramia, and I'm also, if you wanna come on and say something and join myself and my two lovely co-hosts, I could put the link, just put a 1 in the box, and I'll bring you up, and you can talk about whatever you want. Just be respectful and ask that you cam up, because you can see me, I should be able to see you. We're at 9 o'clock, and I want to run your commercial. I need a minute to find it, and I'm gonna put it up, and we're gonna go to a slight commercial break. Can you send me the link again, Pearl?
Yeah.
Because I thought I had it. Let's see. Yeah, I thought I had it. I don't have it though.
That's it right there. That's it right there. Right?
But I want to appreciate everybody for coming out tonight, watching the show. In TikTok land, you won't be able to see the commercial, but you'll be able to hear it. Chocolate Pearl has a business where she makes quality shea butter. She makes candles. She does graphic design, T-shirts. She's a sponsor of my show. I appreciate that. You know, support minority businesses, support Black women businesses. You know, she knows I'm her number one. I'm her number one fan. Well, maybe number 4.
Number one supporter. Number one supporter. I will say that.
Oh, okay, that's
since day one. Since day one.
Let me do this. Give me a second, people, and we will be commercializing.
How did you like the shea butter? The body butter.
I loved it. I love it. I loved it.
And you know, a little dab will do you. You don't need a lot.
Okay, here we go.
I see what you did there, Pearl. I see what you did there. A little bit.
And thank everybody for listening to our presentation. And let me get out of this and come back. There we go. There we go. Okay, Angel Snup Up said, when you're dealing with overly emotional people, it doesn't matter how I communicate. If it's not in line with ideology or beliefs, you're gonna get pushback, and that's true. That's true, because a lot of times we don't argue for emotion. I mean, we don't argue with logic. We argue with emotion. Goes back to what Apple was saying. We have to, you know, and Angel, we have to realize that we have to maintain control of ourselves. We can't always count on what other people are going to do, but we have to maintain ourself, be the boss of ourselves, whether you're a woman or a man. And I'm not trying to make this a gender thing, because everybody loses control at one time or another. And sometimes they want to act silly. But over time, though, you have to, no matter how pushy, how disrespectful the person gets, sometimes you got to know when to fight those battles. We can't fight every battle, because if we do, then if you become a hammer, then everything becomes a nail. And we don't need too much of that in the world. Now, a person who doesn't like to hear the truth, that's going to be that's a whole different story. If a person is not going to don't want to hear the truth. They're going to, no matter what you say, it goes back to what he was saying. You can't, you won't have what you need to be able to deal with people because you're always fighting. You're always wanting to get at somebody. You always want to be that one who, I gotta be the man. I gotta be the woman. We know a lot of likes to fight people, and some of them are no longer with us. But overall, we have to look at how we conduct ourselves. It's all about self-discipline. It's all about self-motivation. And we're not going to always be at the top of our game. Come on now. We've all of us in here, and our second youngest sibling is going through some things now that we can't even imagine at this point. And I hope I never get to imagine what how to go through that. But overall, though, you have to maintain control. I try to send out a message when I go to work on Mondays. I go in the office. I try to send a positive message every week to give people hope, to put a smile on somebody's face. I don't always smile, but when I do, it's cute. But that's another story. But it's look at you. See, you clowning me. That was a delayed one. I feel
No,
awful.
because I keep forgetting that I put myself on mute because my household sometimes.
Yes.
So I'm responding and forgetting.
What do I usually say about that? What you have to be?
You have to be smarter than a device.
See,
I was definitely having a slow moment.
Y'all know I was about to say you need to leave them reefers alone. that devil's hippie lettuce.
I wish that was the case. Sadly, it's not. Is it because I'm over 50 now? So
yeah. Oh yeah.
That was an inside joke for everyone.
Yeah, you in the club now, so get with us old folks. But hey, that's
You ever see it's a meme that goes around now? A lot of people are doing this on social media, where whoever's like over a certain age, they say that the older you get, 9 o'clock becomes the new midnight.
Oh yeah, to me, 10 o'clock is the new 3 a.m.
Okay.
Girl, yeah.
I was saying to Dabs, I said, look, this show has to hurry up and get on because I'm ready to go to bed. This is before 8 o'clock. I said this.
Oh yeah, definitely. Look. Right after the show, if I'm still up after 5 minutes later, I'm doing good. Now sometimes I can hang in there and be up, but not like we used to. Remember we used to break day. Now day breaks us over the head. Like
okay,
get away. Okay, as you lovely ladies are grandparents, and I want to talk to y'all as I'm not a grandparent yet, and I don't think I'll be one, but that's another story.
I can lend you some of mine.
That's okay. Now you got enough for all of us, but that's all right. So
I literally have enough for each person, each sibling. I have enough for each one.
So
and all just from one child.
So starting with you, Chocolate Pearl, what was the difference in your styles between when you were raising your kids to how you treat your grandkids?
I'm glad you asked that, sir. It's a huge difference. It's a huge difference. I used to tease a lot and say, when you have a grandkid, when you have children, you have to keep them, but when you have grandkids, you can give them back. Mine's I can give, spoil them to death and send them back. But however, my my very first grandchild, I did almost like a big mama situation. I had him every single weekend from the time he was 2 weeks old. Then when I got another one, I didn't embrace them like I embraced the first one because they didn't live near me. But whenever they came around, but my discipline style just changed a little bit. I tolerate a little bit more than I did as a parent of, them doing things that they shouldn't be doing, stuff like that. So you are a little bit more lenient when it comes to your grandchildren, unless they are actually in your home on a regular basis.
Right. Hold on for a second. Those in TikTok land, if you're a grandparent, put a 1 in the box. Also in YouTube land, if you're a grandparent, put a 1 in the box. So you've gotten more patience with them that you didn't have with your children. Do you feel the same way, Apple, with your granddaughter?
100%. I actually like her. I didn't like my first two times. We had a discussion, and my daughter, your niece, everybody thinks she's the favorite. She is not. She thinks
Especially
that
nowadays.
she thinks that my middle child is the favorite. He is not. My granddaughter spoke up and said, "I'm the favorite." I said, "Absolutely, you are the favorite. Absolutely." She's 4 years old. She cut in. She let them know. She gets so she doesn't. She's the type of 4-year-old that I can talk to her as if I'm speaking to an adult. So I don't have to do too much discipline with her. But when I was a young mother, parenting doesn't come with a handbook. So I
It
made a
sure
lot of
doesn't.
mistakes. Right.
It sure
I mean,
doesn't.
so I made a lot of mistakes. And I think when you become a grandparent, everything that irked you as a parent, you let, roll off your back.
When it comes,
And
Yeah.
yeah, when it comes
I
to
more patience because I was a single mother to 3 children. So it was hard and I didn't have a lot of patience, and I disciplined corporal punishment, and I don't believe in that anymore, because I believe
Well,
now, not for all, some people do still believe in that. I don't believe in gentle parenting. I believe, but I think that you can speak to a child on their level, and they'll understand what they doing, that you don't approve of. It's inappropriate. So me and my granddaughter, we have discussions, and if she's doing something that I don't like, I'll let her know, like, listen, I don't like that. That's inappropriate, and we're going to change your behavior. And I guess I have I still have the mama face. She straightens right up.
your evil Lynn face.
So I think maybe, it's it's a joy to be a grandparent. I only have one. I'm not as, I don't have as many as the rest of the siblings as far as grandchildren. I think I'm the only one with just one.
You got more than I do.
That's true. That's true. But it's been a joy, and I can focus. I can give all that grandma love directly to her.
Now
And
compare your grandparenting style, both of y'all, to your grandparents' grandparenting style.
Well, I think when I was a parent, our grandparents, we had one who was, no holds barred type person, and then you had another one who was how Apple is speaking now, was like that. She didn't have to put her hands on us. She just spoke to us on our level and made us see, right from wrong, per se. Our daddy side of the family, whip you first and then talk to you later.
right, and I definitely don't believe in the old adage of children should be seen and not heard. I don't
Right,
believe in that because there's too much funny business going on nowadays. And
right.
And this goes back to the communication. I want my granddaughter to be able to come to me and tell me anything, and and we work out a solution. So I
Well,
want to
that's
know if someone is doing something inappropriate to her. I want her to be able to be comfortable enough to come to me and say, "Well, Nana, X, Y, and Z happened, and I didn't like it, and we'll handle it from then." I would have been like scared to go on our paternal grandmother's, to her with anything. And our
Oh yeah.
maternal grandmother, she was sweet as pie, and I'm not as sweet as she is, believe that. But I still wouldn't have felt comfortable talking to her about, a lot of things because I didn't like.
no.
Right. So I think I'm balanced. I'm right in the middle of both of them. I can't,
What about you?
though I don't.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. Even though I don't believe in corporal punishment, I do believe in punishing, and you have consequences for your actions. But
Yes.
um, I have um come to realize that children need to speak too. They
Right.
have
Right.
to. So I'm willing to listen. So Kamani, why did you do that? Oh, I don't know, Nana. Well, you have to know. You have to tell me what you're feeling and why you felt like you needed to throw the dog across the room. Let's put that.
You know what though, and we laugh, but we laugh because we know that's something
Yeah.
that would that would actually happen. So people out there, we're not laughing at the dog getting thrown. We just know that the dog will be thrown. It's not a if, it's a when, because our kids and grandkids are pretty rough with animals.
Well, I agree with her on that. Like I said, our grandparents on both sides were different beings. They didn't act the same when it came to, because one side actually had so many grandchildren at one time versus the other side, where it was a little bit more control. But for my grandparenting tactics, when it came to listening to my grandchildren, I listened to them. So that also made them wanted to always come visit, and
Right.
stay for long periods of time. Only thing that's stopping my grandkids from coming now is their mother. But other than that, they didn't mind talking to me. They actually spoke to me. They actually told me things. Sometimes a little too much. They putting their parents' business out there. But
See, but that's when you put you shouldn't put kids in your business, because if
right,
you
you
don't want them
shouldn't.
to say nothing,
Still
you
should.
don't
Yeah.
tell them nothing. And
Right.
I don't mean and I don't mean like, how, like you said, kids need to be seen and not heard. However, a child should know a child's place.
Place. Exactly. Right.
Definitely.
See,
Definitely. I totally
Right.
agree with that.
there's
There
a
was a
difference.
time. There was a time where my oldest grandson, I had him. This is right before my surgery, so this was recent. And I wanted to just have him because normally I would get his siblings, um, and I would keep them even though they wasn't my blood. I still treated them as they were my grandkids. Well, this particular year I didn't. I really didn't want all of them because of the stress level of my situation. I didn't want to have to deal with that, so I just dealt with him, and I should have had them because it was the same level of stress than it was with just one child than having three. However, he did something and he just kept lying and just kept lying. Back in the day, I would have spanked him for lying or popped him in his mouth or whatever. But this time I chose not to. I just chose to talk to him on a level that he needed to be talked to. Tell me the truth. If you don't tell me the truth, you have you have a consequence. Well, he just ground. He was not going to lie. He wasn't going to lie. I mean, tell me the truth. He was just going to keep that lie going. So I said, well, you know what? And I had just bought him right before and that was actually the day that I was going to drive back to South Carolina and drive him back home, because it was time for him to go back. And I had bought him school clothes, and I bought him a bunch of stuff, games, a football glove, a game system thingy, all this good stuff. And I paid $200 for a pair of sneakers. I ain't never paid $200 for the combination of all my kids together with me and my ex-husband. No $200 shoes. And he really wanted the shoes, so I bought it for him, right? And because he was lying and would not tell me the truth, I told him, I said, okay, because he had already packed the car. I said, take all that stuff that I bought you out of the car. I'm taking it back. Oh, no, please don't. I said, you need to tell me the truth. Tell me the truth of whatever's happening. He just still wouldn't tell me. So finally, he told me. I said, okay, because I had to go through this with you, I had to basically torture you to get, verbally torture you to get this stuff back. I mean, tell me the truth. You only get to keep the clothes and the shoes that didn't cost me a lot of money. But you're going to take back the games thing I bought you, all the other good stuff that he wanted, he had to take it back. So what I did as a discipline, instead of me taking it back, I took him to all those different stores. Because we went to a lot of stores, all those different stores, and gave him the receipt, and he had to go in there and take it back.
I bet he won't do that again.
It taught him a lesson, because so you had a 5-hour drive back to South Carolina. You know what I'm saying? 5 hour, and the reason why I say 5-hour drive, because all that construction, it took longer than it should have. So you had that 5-hour drive, and you and I had a conversation about this whole situation, and you being this, that, and the other. I even gave him a television. I did let him keep that one because it was just for his game system, and the TV was about to go out anyway. So, but it's still the fact that you were right. You have to talk to them on their level instead of corporal punishment. Because back in the day, I would have whooped his behind like it was nobody's business. Like you would have thought he was Kunta Kinte. Okay, I would have did that. But it works better when you just communicate with them and let them see, what they did was wrong, and let them know and show them, and then tell them about the consequences when you do something wrong, or when you lie, or when you steal, or when you fight, or stuff like that. You have to know that there's consequences to every action that you perform, whether it's good or bad.
Now, in comparison to how we grew up, my parenting disciplinary style was a lot different than what we went through. Mm-hmm. I never said that I would never use the belt. I'd be lying up and down. That's it. But it was always a part of the arsenal.
Right.
It was. I didn't even have to threaten to use it. I said, "Look, do I need to get it?" I didn't, But
well, at least you left it up to them.
Yeah. Do I need to? Especially when I'm talking. Do we need to go to the bathroom?
But see that communication style gave them, said, look, do you want the corporal punishment, or you just want to act right? And you gave them the choice to either continue to act a fool, or get your behind whooping, I'll straighten you out.
Yeah, no, that was because hell, raising 3 hard-headed ass boys was not fun. but like I said, they made me a better person, because I had to really and y'all know I'm calm as the day after a storm, but it's just sometimes how children they can get on your nerves, and you just be ready to like, ooh, I don't feel like going to jail today. So I had to learn patience, and I had to learn sense.
I think nowadays a lot of people are taking that tactic of having some type of patience when it comes to their children, because it's not as much child abuse going on like it was, back in our day.
Right.
And the funny thing is, we didn't know it was abuse. We thought it was norm. Like, okay, everybody gets beat up and, embarrassed in school, and and because mommy came up to school and smacked fire out me one time
Me too. You
Hey,
talking about it? I'm starting to hear my ear ring right now.
Okay.
we all do it. We all went through that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
nowadays it would be considered abuse because it is.
it
Think about
it
it.
is it was abusive.
It was
Don't make no mistake about it.
but we didn't see it as such. It took a lot of soul searching and therapy for me to realize, okay, I was abused.
Yeah. Oh, I know I
I
was an
don't want to be
abuser.
this.
I know I
Yeah,
was. I remember tearing my son's entire room up and told him he had 30 minutes to clean it up, or I was coming in to terrorize him.
Were
And
you
I
pledging
had the
him?
belt. Uh-huh.
Did you
You said
pledge him
what?
or something? Did you pledge
Yeah,
him?
exactly. I tore his whole room up and told him he had to clean it up within 30 minutes. And I know I tore the room up to where the bunk beds, I took the bunk beds apart.
Yeah, you went a little bit. I said the worst I did was took Randall's door off, took all his clothes out the room, took his TV, his computer, and took his bed. I just left the mattress, and he had no privacy for 2 weeks.
Oh, I took Khalil's bed because
It
he
was
kept
like
breaking everything I bought, and I got tired
jumping
about
up,
it.
jumping up
Yeah,
and down
on the
on it.
bed. So I said, okay, you
Hmm.
must like to sleep on the floor, and I took his bed. I made him sleep on the floor. Not too long, but I did. Like I said, I do believe in in discipline and consequences for your actions. But yeah.
All right, people out there in social media land, let us know what was the worst thing that you felt you did in disciplining your child. Like I said, mine's what was you said what? You punched him? Oh, good. You're a big man. You punched a child. Oh Lord. Well, I did that to my daughter too, but I told her if I get another call from the teacher that I was gonna knock her teeth out. And instead of her knocking, she come running up the steps, and the teacher had just called, and she coming up, running up the steps. Hey, mommy! And I went pow right in her chest. Uh, Needless to say, I never got a report ever again. Another time with my oldest son, I didn't hit him, but I showed him what happens when a child doesn't get their education. And what I did is he went in there, I fed him like they do at the homeless shelter. And I let him take a shower and put his clothes, his pajamas on and everything. And he was about to go to bed. I said, where you going? He said, I'm going to bed. I said, oh, no, you don't have a bed here. What are you talking about? I said, you don't live here anymore. He said, I said, because you don't have an education. So what he did is I gave him a blanket. I said, here's your blanket. Put some socks on. And I put him outside on the side patio. And I said, have a good evening. I'll see you tomorrow. Of course, I let him stay out there for only an hour, and it was cold out there too. But I explained to him, when you don't get a good education, you can't get a good job. If you can't get a good job, you can't maintain a home. And this is where you'll wind up sleeping, if you're lucky.
If you're
Needless
lucky.
to say, he just built his home last year.
Exactly.
And he is an engineer for a construction company where he does bids for projects. So he is doing quite well. So I'm assuming that the lesson was taught very well.
Yeah.
And
Yes,
he
it
listened.
was. Yes, it was. But on that note, ladies, we are going to bring the show to a close. I want to thank each and every one of y'all out there in YouTube land, TikTok land, in
Before you
Facebook
go,
land.
hey, Doc, before you go, I would love to say what Diary of the Mad Hatter said. He said he made his do push-ups, lots of push-ups. I can imagine. I
Oh,
can imagine.
that's a good one. And remember, mommy used to put us in the corner with the canned vegetables, and we had to hold
Yes,
up.
and
Hold
had
them
to
up.
hold them. Yeah.
Yep.
Hmm.
Yeah, we were being pledged.
Definitely.
But that was because she didn't feel like beating us.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah, you
I
know,
think I would have rather the beaten.
Yeah.
yeah,
Me
me
too.
too. Me too. So before we close it out, Pearl, do you have anything before we close?
Yes. Thank y'all for all that's wishing me a happy birthday. 55 is tomorrow. I want you to have a safe celebration of Black History of Juneteenth. It's more than just my birthday.
Really?
I tell you, look, my birthday is either around Father's Day or June, and because it's Juneteenth, it's going to always, now that it's a federal holiday, it's going to always be celebrated, but not necessarily celebrating me. So thank y'all for who has wished me happy birthday. I appreciate you celebrating me.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. What about you, Apple?
Nah, I'm good. I don't have anything to say.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, I wanted you to thank you every week for coming on. Please like, share, and subscribe. Also, I'm trying to get to 10,000 on YouTube by the end of this month. I got 12 days. 12 days. If you know somebody, please like, share, and subscribe on my YouTube channel. I'm also on Facebook Live, Instagram Live, and of course, TikTok Live. So, never make love by the garden gate. Though love is blind, the neighbors ain't. Y'all have a wonderful day.
Good night.
Peace.